What is up, everybody? I am Jared, and I will be walking you through my core four on for MLB on PrizePicks today. If you are new here, if you go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button, but make sure you get notified when all these videos are up. We have been posting them daily. Also, if you're not currently playing on PrizePicks, if you use promo code WINDAILY, it's typed out for you right at the bottom of the screen. That'll get you a 100% sign up bonus up to $100. And we will also throw in a free 30-day trial period for you of Win Daily Gold. That'll get you access to all of our daily articles and also get you into our Discord where we're constantly talking about different picks for either prize picks or DFS throughout the day. So I wanted to start off just doing a recap of yesterday. Yesterday we didn't do overly well. We went 1 for 3. Dalton Varsho ended up not playing, so we got him scratched right off the bat. Jordan Lyles ended up with 5 strikeouts. We thought he was going to get 4. He just faced one extra batter. It was one of his last batters that got that 5th strikeout. Jordan Alvarez ended up with a couple walks and a run scored, just missing his number. But Jorge Polanco did end up hitting his number. So with that being said, we'll go ahead and go through our picks for today. And with today, we're really just going to go over some hitter fantasy scores. Been having a lot more luck with those, so we may as well go with what's working. So the first guy that we are going to use is going to be Manny Machado of the San Diego Padres. So we are going to be using his 7.5 hitter fantasy score today. Machado is just off to a torrid start this year. He's currently hitting 385, gets a great matchup tonight against Kyle Hendricks. Kyle Hendricks, he started off last year awful, and it's just continued into 2022. He's just been an awful pitcher. He's getting tagged, especially by righties. On the year, righties have an ISO over 220 against him and a WOBA over 340. He's been an extremely attackable pitcher. He's given up homers quite a bit. And then if we look at Machado, he's in just a great matchup because on the year, he's been doing extremely well against righties. On the year, he has a WOBA over 400 against righties. Coming into this game, he's hitting extremely well. His hits in 12 of his last 13 games. I have no doubt in my mind that Kyle Hendricks is not going to be able to slow him down. Our model currently has him at 14 points tonight. I love the over here. Our model loves the over. So I'm going to go with the over on the 7.5 hitter fantasy score. The next guy that we are going to use is going to be Dalton Varsho. We missed him yesterday because the Diamondbacks decided not to play him. So he should be back in the lineup tonight. He has a 6 hitter fantasy score. Gets a great matchup against Hernandez tonight. Hernandez has been getting absolutely crushed by lefties. Lefties on the year have an ISO over 300 against him. It's not a fluke. They had an ISO over 300 against him last year as well. If we look at what Varsho has done on the year, he's got a 284 ISO against righties. So he's got some power in there, especially hitting out of the leadoff spot. He's just in a great spot. The pitch selection that Varsho should see quite a bit tonight is going to be, he should see a healthy dose of sliders. If we look at what he's done against sliders, it's been great. He's got a 349 ISO against righty sliders. It's a great matchup for him. Our model currently has him at 9 points. I actually think he goes over 9 points. So I agree with the model in that he's going to hit the over on this 6 hitter fantasy score. Love him tonight. I also love the Diamondbacks tonight. So if you're playing DFS, load up on Diamondbacks. They're extremely cheap on DraftKings. The next guy that we are going to use is going to be Luis Robert. We typically load up with White Sox when they're facing lefties, but this is a great matchup for the White Sox and also Luis Robert today. You can see here he has a 7.5 hitter fantasy score. If we look at what Zach Plesac has done, he's just been bad. He's not a good pitcher. He gets absolutely tagged by righties. Righties have a 222 ISO against him this year. It's almost identical to what they had against him last year. He's only pitched 26 innings this year. He's already given up 10 barrels and 4 homers. If we look at Robert's coming into this game, just hitting a great stick. He has a 7-game hitting streak, and over those 7 games, he's 4 multi-hit games. Great matchup for him. I have absolutely no reason to think that Plesac can slow him down tonight. Our model loves him. I love him. And I'm going to go with the over on the 7.5 hitter fantasy score. The final guy that we are going to go with is going to be Jazz Chisholm from the Miami Marlins. Chisholm gets a great matchup tonight against Humberto Castellanos. If we look at what Castellanos' lines were this year, it hasn't been that bad. He really just got tagged once this year, but he's been living on the edge. If you go back to last year, he's just not a good pitcher. With Chisholm, we have one of the most dynamic leadoff hitters in the game. Really, if he played anywhere outside of Miami, he'd be a household name. He's great. He's dynamic. And if you look at what he's done against righties this year, he's got a 333 ISO and a WOBA over 430. He's in a great matchup. The 6.5 hitter fantasy score is not going to be much for him. All we need from him tonight is a leadoff double and a run scored. It's extremely attainable. Marlins aren't the best lineup, but we use them when we're in specific matchups, and tonight's a great matchup for them. Our model actually has them at 13 points tonight, so they agree with the over on his 6.5 hitter fantasy score. I'm in agreement. I like it. I'm going with the over on this one. So just to recap, the guys that we're going with tonight, we're going to go with the over on Manny Machado's 7.5 hitter fantasy score. We're going to go with the over on the 6 hitter fantasy score for Dalton Varsho. We're going to go with the over on the 7.5 hitter fantasy score for Luis Robert. And we're also going to go with the over on the 6.5 hitter fantasy score from Chisholm. So that's a recap. That's where we're going tonight. If you end up using these picks, make sure to hit like and subscribe button. Also, if you have any questions about any other guys that you want to use tonight, make sure to just use our comments and monitor it throughout the day, and I'll be happy to answer any questions that you have. That being said, wish you all the best of luck and hope you guys cash.